everyone, just to give a little update here, I'm going to be busy with a lot of stuff over about the next week or week and a half, so in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I've shot about 5 vlogs on some movies, also mixed in with some behind-the-scenes footage for the movie, and get a Brad Tries thrown in there in a Flaming Brian's Kitchen. So I've got all that to kind of last while I'm busy off doing some other stuff. So in terms of this right here, I have gone to the video store to rent some stuff off of the new release wall that was released at least on DVD in about the past month or so. Some stuff that maybe would get overlooked by some critics, and maybe would get quickly passed by on the shelves because there would usually be only about 1 or 2 copies of them on the shelf. But with that said, so they might not be rented out either. And in this first one that I've got, it's a movie called Fast Zombies with Guns, which just sort of screams student film. It's a movie called Fast Zombies with Guns, and to be honest, wasn't really looking forward to watching it because I don't know if everyone else is the same way, and I kind of mentioned this in my Chillerama video, and I never thought I would say this. I never really did. You know, growing up and some of my favorite horror movies being what they are, I never really thought I would say this, and that is that I'm just really tired of zombies. I'm sick of zombies. I'm sick of them to death. I'm sick of about 90% of the micro-budgeted horror movies being zombie movies, and only about 1% of them being any good. I'm just... They all just have kind of blended together with me at this point. They're all sort of the same. They're all done, well, not all of them, but many of them are done just in the same kind of cheesy, tongue-in-cheek, hey, we're making a zombie movie sort of way, and the effects in them are all kind of similar. Very cartoonish effects, very shaky cam, and so it's just gotten pretty old to me. And there are exceptions, you know, there's the whole Walking Dead thing, but I could seriously go the next 10 years probably without seeing another fucking zombie movie. And I never thought I would really say that when I was, you know, growing up, because my favorite horror movie is the original Dawn of the Dead. It is, so... But we don't really get zombie movies like that anymore. The zombie movies we get anymore are right along there with the remake of Day of the Dead. Or they're just trying to be like the remake of Dawn of the Dead. You know, which kind of sucks. So I sit down to watch this movie. Hey buddy, ooh, Fast Lloyd with a gun. Come here, big boy. So, I sit down to watch this movie. And... immediately, it's, you're gonna fall down, buddy. There you go. So I sit down to watch this movie, and I pop it in, and, yeah, it's a shot on digital shitty flick, which, respect, you know, respect. That's how my movies are shot. So it looks like that, like, it's just, you know, kind of a step up from looking like, an Andreas Schnass movie. And the titles for this thing pop up, and it's just this annoying hard rock score playing while the camera is like moving through a cemetery. Like, I didn't see that enough in a lot of those fucking digital shitty movies from the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, it reminded me of watching something like I'll Spit on Your Grave 2, or I Spit on Your Corpse, Piss on Your Grave, or Savage Vengeance, with a hard, really, we're doing this with a hard rock score going through a fucking cemetery, and then the cast is shown on screen in, like, still shots from later into the movie. Like, holy crap, I swear I saw this movie in my vocational course in high school. You know, so there's that, and really, with the whole fast zombie thing, fast zombies with guns, rather, I gotta be specific. With the whole fast zombies with guns thing, I'm sitting there most of the time, being like, I'd really rather watch Nightmare City. Nightmare City or City of the Walking Dead is a movie about fast zombies with guns. It might be one of the first movies about fast zombies with guns. And I really like that movie. That's a really, really fun movie. If you haven't seen it, please check out Nightmare City by Umberto Lenzi, starring Hugo Stiglitz. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. It's a really, really cool flick. And if you don't think it's your thing, just watch Velas's video on it. You'll get the gist in like 30 minutes. So, but yeah, so Nightmare City has a special place in my heart. It really does, because I believe it was the first Italian horror flick I ever saw. And I saw it when I was a kid, because our video store had it. Just randomly had it in a hard shell VHS. It rented it when I was a kid. And loved it, At the time, I hadn't really seen much like it, so I thought that was a cool flick. So if I'm going to watch a movie about fast zombies with guns, it's going to be that movie. And in this one, I really didn't like this movie. I sat there most of the time checking the clock. I wanted it to be over. Sure, I went into it not expecting to like it, but that doesn't automatically mean that I'm not gonna like it. Like, it really could have surprised me, but it didn't. It just wasn't that entertaining. In terms of the zombie scenes, it was exactly what I expected out of a movie called Fast Zombies with Guns and being shot on digital shitio. But also, for a movie called Fast Zombies with Guns, the movie's honestly kind of slow. Like, it's like, it has to do with this gangster who poisons like this couple's water, and then they turn into zombies, and then it just spreads. But then there's other stuff about a necklace and a diary, and there's a bunch of stuff going on, like with this dude who's paid $1 million to get this necklace, and then he and his girlfriend bicker. There's actually a lot of characters in this movie. And that could be one thing, that could be something. Because it does sort of take its time, really, setting up the fast zombies in the movie. It does do that. It isn't just like shooting zombies for 90 minutes. I will give it that. And it does have quite a few characters in it. They're just not very good. Like, they spend most of the time just bickering at each other, and the dialogue is really just kind of mundane. Like, a dude gets a flat tire on his car, and then just steps out and goes, "That's definitely a flat tire." So it's a lot of things like that, and the acting is pretty, like, I can't really fault it that much. This is a micro-budgeted movie we're talking about, so of course it's not going to have pitch perfect acting around. There's a couple of performances that are pretty good. There's this redneck guy in the movie, who I liked him a lot. He was actually a lot of fun. And if the movie was kind of about him, and not these 20 other douchebags who just kind of, like, pick at each other, and, like, the one guy's like, "Who put you in charge?" So, of course, it's got a "who put you in charge" guy in it. And, like, the guy's girlfriend who's just, like, berating him throughout, like, the movie. But there is this redneck dude who's pretty cool. Like, and honestly gives a pretty solid performance. And I did like him. Like, I genuinely didn't want, like, anything bad to happen to his character. So, and so I really liked that guy. And if it had more of that guy, that would have been pretty cool. Honestly, I think alone he probably could have carried this movie. But he's just mixed in with, like, this ensemble of a bunch of other characters who really, really, really don't need to be there. There's another odd thing about the movie too, and that's how it's lit. And I know that I'm not someone who needs to be talking about bad lighting, because you ever see the early episodes of The Snob? But the lighting here is really weird. It's like they've turned the exposure, like, way down throughout the movie. Or they've done some stuff to, like, take down, like, the lighting in the foreground, or